Well, it's the next day. I thought I'd give you a little update about what was going on with the marina and why we got kicked out. Try to be as honest and truthful as I can. But this is our new slip. We're at the Conch House. We're right there with a black top. So we look out. This is sunrise. This is Salt Run. Right over there is the lighthouse. Down there is the boat ramp. This is St. Augustine mooring field in here. So they were very nice to let us in. They don't usually have long-term, but they had a spot available, and it worked out great for us. But so probably, I don't know, maybe a month ago, we asked if we could move our slip into a friend's slip while he was gone. He was up in Georgia sailing. So we took that slip because it had a nicer view, and we're going to do some like cleaning on the side of the boat. And our friend Franklin came back early, so we wanted to move over to the next slip, and she said no, you can't go there, it's a transient slip and she's got it rented. And I said, well, just for like a day or two, and she said no. And she said she had it rented for July 4th, which was like a week away. I said, we'll move as soon as we need. No, absolutely refused. I said, okay. So she was going to put us in another spot, and the cleats, I don't know if I showed you a video, but the cleats in that other spot weren't that big. These are big cleats. I think they were maybe 8-inch, but they're all rusty, and I asked her to have them fixed. She kind of hemmed and hawed and said no, she's not going to have them fixed. She complained that I asked for too much. And she said there's nothing wrong with those cleats, and they were really rusty. I'll try to insert a picture if I can. And then she said, no, there's other cleats that are worse than those. And if I had to replace those cleats, I'd have to replace all the cleats at the marina. And I kind of said, well, that's probably the right thing to do. You got to update and, keep things up. Same thing on a boat. So we got into it about that. She refused. I ended up moving. She did replace the cleats eventually, which was nice. Excuse me for coughing. So she replaced the cleats. Took quite a while. She says she has a hard time finding people to work. I found that most of the people she hires comes on Sundays, so I think they do it like as a side job or after their work. Matter of fact, the guy fixing the gate worked on a Sunday. Then he said he'd be back on Monday after work. So I think she hires people kind of as a side gig. So that's a side note, but here's Agape. So we kind of got into it, and I told her, I said, for like a business practice, it's probably not a good idea to be telling clients that there are worse stuff than the stuff he's complaining about. And so we got into it, moved back to our spot, a little frustrated. Anyways, yada, yada, yada. The door breaks, the gate. So they had it taped. I think it was about 2 weeks. It was taped. So basically no security going down to the dock. Then the water broke. We had no water for a solid 2 days. It was going on the third day. So I was really frustrated. We didn't hear from her, the marina. They didn't say, hey, we know they didn't post anything on the Facebook page about, we know the gate's broken and we're working on it and the guy's coming, or we know about the water. They had no idea about the water. she kind of blamed the marina people for the water because nobody told her. I got a little frustrated. I wasn't angry, but I was frustrated that, you're the dock master at the marina. You should know when the water's broken. So we got into it. I posted something about that online, and Joe, who I really like, who works there, he follows me, and he showed the video to the dock master, and they got kind of angry, put him in a bad light. So they told Michelle that we had to be out the next day, 12-hour notice. So I went and talked to him, sat down in the office. They explained, well, what they said was that, Paul, you're not happy, and what you posted, we're not happy, so you guys need to move on. We were paid up through the end of the month. I apologized to him. I really tried to take the high road, saying, okay, look, I'm sorry you guys felt that way. I removed the video. And I think I said in the earlier video, Michelle was pretty upset about moving. So I went back and said, hey, I didn't know Michelle was going to be so upset about moving. I thought she'd be kind of happy to move like I was. And especially when we found another marina. So I said, could we stay till the end of the month? And they said no. So I tried calling the GM. I talked to a lot of people, of our friends there. They said, well, you got to tell the general manager of the hotel because he needs to know what's going on. So I waited the next day, went to his office. He never came in. So I'm like, you know what? This isn't meant to be. We're not meant to be at this marina. She gave us to the next day, I guess 12 hours notice. So we were packing up and leaving. The GM never came in to override her rules, which I don't even know if he can override her rules. I was told by the marina staff that they're a separate company and they do what they want. So, fortunately, Conch House had a spot. By the way, this is Excalibur. This is our friend. This was our slip a couple years ago. We were here for a month. By the way, that's the showers, bathrooms, dock master's office. Came in yesterday. They had 2 dock hands to catch lines. We backed in. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Honestly, the price here, I think it was $150 more. We're right next to the inlet. It's a much nicer marina. These finger piers, they're 40 feet long. Our boat's 40 feet long, so we can get on and off real easy. The finger piers at Hidden Harbor were, 8 foot. So your boat was kind of sticking way out, tied to pilings. It wasn't optimal, So anyway, we believe it's God's will that we were not in that spot anymore. I'm happy to be out of there. We have good friends there we've met. We're going to miss them. But we're still here in town. We're still in St. Augustine. They did refund my money, by the way. That was my concern. They were going to kick us out and keep the rest of the month's rent, but she refunded it right away. So we left. It was kind of inconvenient. Oh, I wasn't supposed to drive a car because I had hernia surgery. So I wasn't supposed to drive a car. I haven't driven a car yet, actually, for 10 days after the surgery. I drove the boat. That wasn't too bad. Michelle did all the work. As they say in the South, bless her heart. Been doing all the heavy lifting since I can't lift anything more than this coffee cup. It's too bad. So that's an update. Hope everybody's doing good. We're in a good place. New owner will be coming down on the 16th of August in about 3 weeks. He's got a couple contractors coming. They want to replace the fuel lines on the boat because they're dated and they want to put in new ones. So they're going to do that while we're here at the Conch House. And there's a possibility I'll drive with him like up to Georgia or so for a couple of days to give him the what's what on the boat. And then his wife will come down and he'll pick her up. I'll drive back to Florida and then they'll continue to Maryland. So that's a total update of what's going on with Agape. We're looking for Agape number 2. So if you guys see anything that looks good, like a single engine 42 plus aft cabin, it's really hard to find. There's one in Washington State. Be a huge expense getting it here, or a long trip around through the Panama Canal. But okay, now that's officially an update.